Right now at 6, how a Malala family is mourning the loss of a man hit and killed while riding his bike, and how they're now asking for your help.
It's a devastating thing to go through, and I can't even express the loss.
Plus, it is deadline day to make sure you can weigh in the Oregon primary that includes a controversial increase in taxes. Then,
I have open questions on how we're going to regulate this.
Waymo is trying to move into Portland, what they've got to go through to get self-driving cars on the streets.
And later, the Blazers set to hit the court in San Antonio with one final attempt to keep their playoff run alive.
Our top story here at 6, a family is asking for help after a father was hit and killed by a car while riding his bike. Thank you for joining us. I'm Christine Pitawanich.
And I'm David Mulco. Celine Stevens has the update from Malala.
This crash happened on the night of April 11th, and his name was John Bring. He was traveling along this road here behind me with his bike when he was hit by a car and killed. He was a father of 2 and a brother, and now his family is just left to try and heal.
Oh, I love you, and you'll never be forgotten.
No.
A cross with flowers now rests near where John Bring died.
It's right here. Yeah.
After being hit by a car on the night of April 11th in Malala. The 57-year-old, known as someone with a huge personality, according to his daughter, Xandra.
He was funny. It's just so funny. And he loved to talk. He was a really big storyteller. He played the heck out of his guitar, and it was something that was really common in our house, was playing guitar, working on a project, and just joking around a lot.
His older sister, Dana Chamberlain, explaining John was her last immediate living family member.
It's a devastating thing to go through, and I can't even express the loss.
John was traveling with his bike when he was hit at Main Street and Industrial Way.
He was crossing right here.
His daughter seeing word of a crash first on social media and then getting the call soon after.
So I was just immediately hurt for whoever it was, and then the next morning I got the call, and it was him.
Chamberlain says she knows where he was probably headed that night.
He has a camp that he stays at and lived at up the road, and we still were in contact and everything. I didn't see him every day, but we kept in touch. Yes, he was homeless, so to speak, but that was it was a chosen way of life.
The family says authorities told them the driver was impaired.
The driver was cited. He was impaired. He did stop.
Now, the family is trying to raise funds to organize a funeral for John, who they say is gone too soon.
Just missing you every day.
According to the Malala Police Department, this case is still under investigation. However, they were not able to confirm any details about the driver, including whether they were impaired or not. The family has a GoFundMe up for anyone who would like to help with funeral expenses. In Malala, Celine Stevens, KGW News.
In your headlines, authorities in Yamhill County are investigating a deadly triple overdose. It happened on April 20th. Authorities got a 911 call reporting multiple overdoses on Northeast Dopp Road in the Newburgh area. All 3 people were found dead. Investigators believe they were exposed to fentanyl, but they're still trying to determine exactly what happened.
Washington's financial outlook has been downgraded from stable to negative. Credit agency Moody's citing the state's dependency on temporary budget solutions. Fitch also gave the state a negative outlook. It's important to note the state's actual credit rating has not changed yet, just the outlook. Meanwhile, the state treasurer warns a drop in the credit rating could eventually mean higher taxes for everyone.
In Portland, On Point Community Credit Union celebrated opening a new branch in the heart of downtown. The new location is just off Broadway in the Union Bank Tower. The credit union says the 17,000 square foot space consolidates its downtown presence, but offers a larger space in one central location.
Really, we've always been in downtown Portland. We're proud, our roots are downtown Portland, and inner Portland. And so our goal is ultimately to continue to be in the Portland area.
As part of the celebration, On Point made a $5,000 donation to the Artist Mentorship Program, also known as AMP. The nonprofit offers creative and professional development opportunities for local young people experiencing homelessness.
And Oregon voters have until midnight to make sure they are registered to vote in the May primary or to change their party affiliation. The primary is closed, so if you want to vote in the GOP primary in the race for governor, for example, you need to register as a Republican. Keep in mind, though, even unaffiliated voters statewide will get a say on whether to approve transportation taxes, including a gas tax hike and a jump in the cost of titling a vehicle. You can head to the Secretary of State's website right now to check or update your registration. Ballots go in the mail tomorrow with Election Day, Tuesday, May 19th. Matt?
All right, David, thank you very much. It was a cloudy start to the day, but the sun is breaking through. The clearing is happening. Been a slow process as we knew it would be. 59 degrees right now, but boy, do we have a warm up on the way. Beginning tomorrow, a little bit of a cool down and then a bigger warm up after that. But we made 60 today. Vancouver was 61. Hood River is 59, 62 in Aurora and down by Cambie. Medford, the hot spot with that 73. But like I said, there are warmer days ahead. Tomorrow, we're back into the 70s. Thursday, we'll be flirting with 80 degrees. Depends on how many high clouds we end up getting. We'll get a lot of them. We'll stay about 78 or 79. And then on Sunday, very warm. I'm forecasting 88 degrees for Sunday. The record for that date is 89 degrees, set way back in 1992. So that's a long-standing record. And if we look at the number of days in May where we get into the upper 80s, it's really not that many. The record of number of days where it's 88 degrees or warmer is 5, and that was set only 3 years ago. And then the average number of days of 88 degrees or better is 3, so we usually get a couple, but of course they're usually at the end of the month, not in the beginning. Guys?
Okay, thank you, Matt. Washington is taking new legal action against the ICE processing center in Tacoma after complaints about the conditions inside.
Alex McClune has more.
Thank you, everybody.
Advocates gathered around Washington's governor and attorney general to announce the latest legal action to get inside the ICE detention facility in Tacoma.
Just a courtyard, it's concrete.
Officials and advocates say more than 1,200 people are inside one of the country's largest immigration detention centers.
So it's really built to break people's spirits and to make them give up in the immigration system.
Governor Bob Ferguson and Attorney General Nick Brown allege the GEO Group is violating state law after the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals cleared the way for Washington to inspect the privately run facility. The governor says state health inspectors have been turned away 10 times over the past 3 years.
This is totally unacceptable.
State leaders say the Department of Health has received more than 3,500 complaints from detainees, alleging contaminated food with raw meat and worms, denied care like medications, and unsanitary living conditions, including mold, dirty clothing, and limited working bathrooms.
The GEO Group is violating the law and sending the message that Washingtonians don't deserve to know what is going on in their facility.
Even though we're not in there, we are taking those first steps, and whatever we see when we do get in there, we would absolutely provide some help, immediate advice, or direction in how to remedy those situations.
The GEO Group has argued in court that federal oversight governs the facility, not state law, and that inspections should be handled through ICE. Meanwhile, advocates are calling for the end of detention altogether.
Everyone who is detained right now in that detention center be free and be a part of their community.
Again, that was Alex McClune reporting. Now, if a judge rules in favor of the state, a Washington health official says they can provide immediate assistance. If not, the legal fight continues over who has authority overseeing the facility.
Well, to a breaking update on a shooting in Vancouver that we first reported last night as a drive-by. Police just revealing the 16-year-old has died after they were shot last night near Northeast 18th and Andreessen. So far, detectives are not releasing their name. 2 other teens were also shot and are in the hospital, but authorities say they're expected to survive. Police have now clarified, saying this began with a fight in a parking lot between 2 groups, some who pulled out firearms. Authorities say they arrested a 17-year-old near the crime scene for gun possession, but not for the shooting itself. We'll keep you posted on this. Well, King Charles is marking his first state visit to the U.S. for the first time since ascending to the throne. A key part of the 4 days, an address to a joint meeting of Congress, making him only the second British monarch to do so. During the speech, the first of its kind since his mother's in 1991, King Charles reminding lawmakers that the words and actions from American leaders carry global weight. He also reaffirmed the connection the two nations have through shared history and democratic values.
Whatever our differences, whatever disagreements we may have, we stand united in our commitment to uphold democracy, to protect all our people from harm, and to salute the courage of those who daily risk their lives in the service of our countries.
The King and Queen Camilla's visit comes at a time when relations between the U.S. and the U.K. are strained by the war in Iran, with President Trump notably criticizing the U.K.'s lack of military support for the conflict. The day is now wrapping up with a state dinner at the White House.
And meantime, AAA is reporting gas prices have hit their highest level since the start of the war in Iran. And prices this particular time of year have not been up this much since 2022. That's after Russia invaded Ukraine. AAA says the spike is driven by a combination of the conflict in the Middle East and also companies switching to summer gas blends, which tend to be more expensive to produce. The average price for regular gas jumped 12 cents over the last week in Oregon to $5.10 per gallon. Washington is now at $5.51, and the national average shot up 15 cents in the past week to $4.18 a gallon.